Now I've got a question for y'all out there. What was the first vise you ever owned and where did you get it? I'll start. Mine was the Supreme. I got it from Choo Choo Fly and Tackle in Chattanooga, Tennessee in the mid-1980s. Now I can't remember exactly, but I think I paid about $12 to $15 for it. Now vices have sure come a long way in 40 years, so let's talk about one of the more modern ones. Stick around. Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Flies. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. So before I get started in today's review, I do want to mention somewhat of an anniversary. 1 year ago today, June 27th, 2020, I celebrated my 100th subscriber on the channel. So fast forward 1 year and we should hit 4,500 today. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you all who supported this channel, continue to watch the videos, leave me positive, encouraging feedback. I really appreciate that. Now, about the vise I'm going to review today, we did talk about this one in the 5 vices under $100 video, but this one, I was excited enough about this one. I think it warrants its own review, and we're talking about the Maxcatch right here. It's called the Maxcatch Rotary. I would just call it a rotating vise. It's not a true rotary, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So about Maxcatch, they started in 2005. They are a Chinese company, and I know some of you will have heartburn with that, and I get it. I like to buy American when I can too, but keep in mind, a lot of American companies actually have their products made overseas anyway, and that's just kind of the world we live in today. And I'm not here to judge anybody's politics. I'm just going to review a product and let you decide if it might be the right vise for you. So let's talk about some of the specs on this Maxcatch rotating vise. It's mostly made out of aluminum. It's really lightweight, about 10.1 ounces, but it doesn't seem flimsy at all. It really feels pretty solid. It's got a great C-clamp on it. Also aluminum, but a very solid C-clamp with 2.5-inch opening, so it'll fit on some pretty big benches. And it comes in at about $50. Occasionally you can find it a little bit cheaper on Amazon, or you can buy it straight from the vendor at about $50 to $55 usually. So how do we set this thing up? It's actually quite simple. You got a C-clamp you're going to put on the bench. You've got a little bolt right here to hold the post and at what height you want. And then you've got a bolt with an Allen wrench right there that you can adjust the cant of this angle right here. So let's put it on the bench and then test it out. Now, first off, I want to mention that it does claim to hold up to a size 1/0 of a hook and then down to a size 28. I did put a 1/0 in it. This guy right here, this is a big hook. It held this thing fine. So I wouldn't want to go much bigger than a 1/0, but it held it pretty well. And I didn't have anything as small as a 28, but I did put a 20 in it, and it worked just fine. But hats off to you if you can tie down to a size 28 anyway. I've never tried, and hopefully I never will. So the setup on this thing, very easy. Put it on the bench and adjust your post to the right height. Maybe adjust the angle that you want it right there. So how easy is it to actually use? Let me just show you with a pretty standard size hook. I'm going to put a size 12 in it. You've got one bolt right here. You loosen this up and then you can spin this around however you want. Open that lever right there to open the jaws. Let's get one put in right here and then you just pinch it down, get the angle you want, and then lock it right there. So really the setup is very easy. The jaws are adjustable, but how I have them adjusted right now will pretty much hold from, I would say, a size 6 or 8 streamer hook all the way down to a size 20. You don't need to mess with it unless you're going to some really big hooks. And how you do that, it's not hard. You just open it up and then you would twist this right here, which would open the jaws a little bit more, allow you to put a bigger hook in, and then you just pinch it shut just like that. Now, as far as the rotating part of this one, how that works, you have one bolt right here, just a quarter of a turn. Now you can spin it around like this. Say you wanted to look at the underside of the hook, right there. Now it's solid, it's in there. Loosen it back up, spin it back down, lock it in, and you're in your standard tying position. So the difficult adjustments, or I wouldn't say they're difficult, but the ones that you would probably do one time in the setup, that's getting your height adjusted and this bolt right here, and then the angle with this Allen wrench right here. But the adjustments you use all the time, or more often I would say, is, moving it around right here and then opening the jaws up if you want to put a little bit of bigger hook in it. So that's it for how easy it is to set up and actually how easy it is to use. So who might this vise be for? Well, it's a great vise for a new fly tire. I would say it's a really good upgrade if you're a fairly new tire. Maybe you've been tying for a year or so and you're still using maybe a Supreme or a AA or something that came with a kit. But it's also a pretty good choice for a veteran tire who's looking for a lightweight vise that you can put in your travel kit. So really, it's a pretty solid choice for, any range of tires out there. So let me recap with some of the pros and cons on this vise. First, the pros, it's a really lightweight vise, but it still feels very solid. It's got one of the best C-clamps I've ever seen out there, holds a wide variety of hooks, and it's still pretty cheap at about $50. Now, I did come up with two cons. First one being this bolt right here. This is a plastic bolt. I couldn't really open or close it with my fingers. I did have to put a wrench on it. That's what you adjust the post height into the clamp with. So that's not something you have to adjust very often. So it doesn't lose a lot of points in my book on that. And then, well, it's made overseas. So if that's important to you, it could definitely be a con. But overall, it's a solid vise and a pretty good choice for a lot of tires out there. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, it does come with a couple of these little foam things right here. This is just a tool caddy, fits on the post. You can put your bobbin or bodkin or whatnot in there. Not a big selling point to me because I don't think I would use this anyway. And then it comes with this thing, which I really don't know what it is. Maybe just a patch for holding your flies. Okay, now since I like to give products away after I've done a review of them, we'll do that with this one. So if you are interested in this and you're new here, here's how we do it. Just leave a comment with the hashtag I picked green. It's a green looking vise. Hashtag, which is # GREEN. No spaces, just hashtag green anywhere in your comment. And I'll do a random comment picker. Let's say Tuesday night. We'll let this run for a couple days. Tuesday night, I'll do the random comment generator and we'll pick a winner and I'll drop this thing off in the mail to you. So that's it, everybody. Just my way to say thanks. I appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching the channel. Y'all take care. See you next time.